Hello world, welcome back to my channel. My name is BizMatik and I got another one for y'all, man. How y'all doing? I'm doing great. I'm feeling great, you know. It's early. Can hear the birds and shit. But this is Instant Karma, 5 most satisfying prison sentences, man. Now I don't wish prison on nobody. I really don't. But sometimes like if you raping children, if you certain things, I feel like all right, I don't feel bad for you. Usually we're like, let the streets get them, but I don't know. But this is 5 most satisfying prison sentences. Let's check it out.
A rapist convicted. Christopher Ennis is heading to prison for decades.
Serial.
His victims with the chance to confront him and find closure inside the courtroom. Good evening, I'm John Nicely. Mallory's off tonight. An Omaha serial rapist is off the streets and on his way to jail for 90 to 100 years. Christopher Ennis attacked and assaulted 7 women over 3 years. One of his victims, a 16-year-old relative. John Chapman was in the courtroom when the sentence was handed down this morning, and he continues our coverage.
Some of the victims in this case asked the judge to impose the maximum sentence. 30-year-old Christopher Ennis, with time served, will be 72 years old when he is eligible for parole. In court, the serial rapist talked about how his time in jail was hard on him, how he couldn't celebrate his 30th birthday, and how he missed his 6-year-old daughter. Ennis apologized to his victims and to his family for his crimes. From 2011 until he was caught in 2013, Ennis attacked women as they walked alone in northeast Omaha,
Like, who's
them into
doing
bushes,
shit like this,
and
bro?
then assaulted them. One of his victims, a relative who spoke in court, the victim said, "I don't want a pity party. I don't want tears. I want justice." And she got it. Ennis was sentenced to 90 to 100 years in prison.
He was a predator. I mean, there's no question about it. And I think Molly, my prosecutor, accurately described him as somewhat a wolf in sheep's clothing. He didn't appear to be somebody that was dangerous. He would come up from behind these females, grab them from behind, and then obviously this is assault. But if you saw him, you wouldn't necessarily be afraid of him at first glance.
Now this entire community is a little safer with a serial rapist behind bars for at least the next 45 years.
Hopefully we'll never see him
I
out
ain't know
again,
niggas be
able
doing
to hurt
shit like
anybody
this
else.
for real,
With
for real,
photographer
bro.
Davey Burke, John Chapman, WWT 6 News.
Ennis attacked 7 women. His crimes were very violent. One of the victims told authorities that Ennis choked her until she was unconscious. Ennis faced 8 charges, including strangulation. He pleaded no contest to 2 charges
some
of
freaky
sexual assault,
shit.
while the other charges were dropped.
Been sentenced to 50 years in prison for brutally beating a toddler last year. 20-year-old Dustin Armstrong pleaded guilty to multiple acts of child endangerment, which is a Class B felony. Ben Jordan is back from the hearing and joins us now. Ben?
Kevin, it was a very emotional hearing for Armstrong, the victim's mother, and family and community members on both sides.
The man sitting here today is not the one I once knew. He is not the one I fell in love with. He is a coward, and forgiveness is not an option for me.
After everyone had their chance to speak in this Wapello County courtroom, it was Dustin Armstrong's chance to say something about what he'd done.
Do you have anything you wish to say to me prior to my announcing what I'm going to do here today, sir?
No, Your Honor.
Last April, police found 2-year-old Braden Young unconscious in his Ottumwa home with a broken jaw and extensive brain damage. Armstrong admitted in Monday's hearing that he grabbed Braden's jaw and slammed his head against a wall. Doctors told Braden's mother they thought he was going to die. Braden has made a remarkable recovery, but his mother says he will likely face challenges from the beating for his entire life.
Being betrayed by the man I was with for nearly 3 years brought me into the deepest pain I've ever known.
Watch who you bring
When
around your
Judge
kids,
Joel
man.
Yates gave the guilty sentencing, Armstrong lost control of his emotions, dropped his head into his hands, and cried.
And you'll have plenty of time in the Iowa penal system to think about what you've done to this defenseless child.
Tears were shed throughout the courtroom, some of joy as justice was served, others of pain as Sue Adler watches her son leave for prison.
I remember this little bright, smiling, curly-headed kid that used to run to Mom and with open arms letting kisses
I
and
feel
hugs.
for her though. She a mom, but like,
There's
there's no way you didn't know this nigga was was
Armstrong
like
originally
that.
told officers
Yeah,
that
moms
Braden
be
had a
knowing,
seizure
bro. They
while
be
he was
knowing. They
in
just
a
be letting
potty
shit
training
slide.
chair, fell to the ground, and was unresponsible, so the truth came out today. For Braden, his incredible recovery keeps getting better. He can eat, speak, and walk on his own now, and his mother told us all of these things were said to have been impossible. Kevin?
Ben, thank you very much.
Is ABC Action News.
Now at 11, bloody
Damn.
and bruised. A father catching a teen he says was in the act of sexually
Yo, they
assaulting
lumped
his
them
son.
up.
I got him in a bloody puddle for you right now, officer.
That father faced with an unimaginable situation. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jameson Euler.
And I'm Wendy Ryan. Social media tonight buzzing about a dad taking justice into his own hands to protect his 11-year-old son.
Alex Hobson joins us live in the newsroom with more. Alex?
Well, at this very hour, take a look. The story has been shared more than 1,000 times on our Facebook page, with folks speaking out overwhelmingly in support of the father who took matters into his own hands when he caught the alleged abuser he trusted as his son's babysitter.
A beaten and bruised Raymond Frolander stood before a judge and didn't say a word.
Teen he
during his
caught
first appearance in court.
allegedly molesting.
Police
Ooh.
arresting Frolander for sexually
You
assaulting
lucky you're alive,
an
boy.
11-year-old boy. His face severely bruised after the boy's father caught him in the act and then beat him unconscious. This phone call to 911 happened shortly after.
I just walked in and found a grown man molesting, and I got him in a bloody puddle for you right now, officer.
Okay, sir. Well, sir. You discover that he has been sexually abusing him in your home.
He gotta go. He gotta go. He gotta go. He gotta go. We catching bodies.
Motionless on the floor of the apartment where the sexual battery occurred. First responders had to take him to the hospital to be checked out.
I can't give an ambulance. He's gonna need one.
Were there any weapons involved?
My fist and my foot.
Police say the victim told them Frolander had been assaulting him since he was 8 years old.
Dang.
You think to yourself, here's a young man whose innocence was taken away from him. You know, 8 to 11-year-olds should be outside riding their bike and playing sports and playing video games.
Frolander did not receive a bond and will stay in jail for the time being. Investigators are making sure he has not victimized any other children. And get this, police said Frolander admitted he had sexual relationship with the victim, reportedly saying, "I'm guilty" at the end of his interview with
Yeah, they're gonna have fun with you in jail, buddy.
Not facing any criminal charges. Reporting live in the newsroom, Alex Hobson, ABC Action News.
New developments tonight in a violent crime spree that left one man dead and many lives damaged. Today, the man who admitted committing those crimes learned the price he'll pay, as we hear the emotional plea from the widow of the man he killed. Derek Thomas has that story.
The murder victim's wife could not have been more clear. She asked the judge to sentence Shane Thompson to 110 years in prison. The now 19-year-old Shane Thompson pleaded guilty to murdering 39-year-old Evelyn Njai during a September 25th, 2013 robbery attempt at this Rickers BP located on West 38th Street.
Bro,
the murder and robbery came during a spree.
Georgia.
That same day, Thompson and his accomplices also hit this convenience store at 71st and Keystone. 7 days prior to that, Thompson broke into the home of this woman and sexually assaulted her while her husband and sons were held at gunpoint. We usually don't identify rape victims, but she wanted to tell her story and how it affected her sons.
One came to me and said he felt suicidal, and then the other one attempted suicide.
Oh, so he killed
it
other
came out
dudes
later that
and raped
when I asked
her.
him why, and he said, "Because I couldn't help you." He couldn't live with it.
Given the nature of the crimes, the judge sentenced Thompson to 110 years behind bars.
Justice was done today because Shane Thompson got the maximum sentence of 110 years for his actions, for him just going out thinking that he can do whatever he wants and get away with it. So justice was done today.
On his way back to jail, I asked the defendant what he was going to do for the next 110 years. He told me he's going to get his life together.
Nigga, what life? It's
Derek
over.
Thomas,
What life? It's over.
Derek,
There's
thank
no
you.
more
Two
life.
other people are charged with taking part in that crime spree. Janai Hudson and Ryan Clark will be sentenced on October 10th.
Very dramatic day in court as a young man learned his fate. He beat his girlfriend's little boy to death because he wouldn't stop crying. Brittany Smallwood has more on today's sentencing for us. Hi, Brittany.
Teresa, it was intense at sentencing. The courtroom was packed with family and friends supporting the defendant, Dylan Shoemaker, and the victim's family. As soon as the case was called, Shoemaker walked into the courtroom and started crying, telling everyone how sorry he was.
I didn't mean to kill Austin. Ashley, I really didn't.
Nah, he looked like he meant it. You look like an asshole.
Dylan Shoemaker walked into a state Supreme Courtroom pleading his case, telling his victim's mother and the court he's remorseful for what he did. Shoemaker was sentenced Friday for beating 23-month-old Austin Smith last
23
March.
months!
Before the sentence was handed down, Shoemaker and his defense attorney fought for the minimum sentence, 15 years to life.
I can't take back what was done. I wish I could. I would give my life for Austin. I loved him a lot.
Austin Smith was completely defenseless. That's a given. But there were other dynamics at work there, including my client's inability to either control his anger or frustration, and his inexperience in babysitting.
Inexperience with, throw that whole lawyer away. Throw this lawyer away.
Well, we don't know that. I think it's completely unlikely. It was a situational, circumstantial thing.
In Judge M. William Bowler's last words to Shoemaker, he told the now 17-year-old that in his short life, he's caused so much despair to so many people. Bowler said he listened intently to Shoemaker's testimony during trial and called him a manipulator who minimizes his actions.
The record will show that you admitted that on July 23, 2013, in a phone call to your mother from the holding center, you stated, and I got a quote from the court reporter, "I am a 16-year-old blonde. Probably all I have to do is cry in front of the jury, and they're going to feel sorry for me," end quote.
Afterwards, Shoemaker was sentenced to 25 years.
You see the mentality of these little white dudes?
Shoemaker's defense attorney, Joseph Terranova, says he plans to immediately appeal the sentence. Both say the death of Austin Smith was not intentional. Reporting live in the newsroom, Brittany Smallwood, News 4.
Bruh, that last dude, he's like, I'm a 16-year-old blonde. All I gotta do is cry. Bruh. Yo. And the first dude, right? That was a serial rapist, bro. Like, what is you doing, bro? What is you doing? I feel like we're in a world where women are just throwing it out. Like, you ain't gotta rape nobody, bro. You ain't gotta. Oh man, they probably gonna demonetize this video. I don't even have enough subscribers to get money anyway, so we lit. We lit. But yeah, man, like these people do stupid crimes, man. I feel like everything I heard was just stupid crimes, like things that didn't have to be done. You feel me? Like you don't gotta walk around assaulting people. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand the mentality of that, just doing senseless crimes, especially senseless crimes that's gonna get you locked up for a long time. They throwing out 110 years, 50 years. Oh, bruh. I don't know. Y'all let me know how you felt about it in the comment section below, though. And let me know what else you want me to react to, and you know I got you. But if you made it this far, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. And yo, it's all dumb shit, man. It's all dumb.